Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's great to have you guys with me. I would love for you guys to officially introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit more about Fixx.
Sorry. I'm Ruben. I'm one of the partners. I'm the brewer as well. Fixx is it's a kombucha company focused on producing raw kombucha, which is very rare in the market, believe it or not. But our real focus is really on producing these elixirs that are healthy, full of probiotics, and they're going to help you live a better life and just feel better about how your digestive tract is working and everything from your system.
Very cool. And you guys have culinary backgrounds, is that correct?
Correct. I'm Erik. More the operations for Fixx. Yeah, we both have culinary backgrounds. I went to the Culinary Institute of America at Greystone in Napa, and Ruben attended Hyde Park, CIA.
I am familiar with both of them, yeah. Great establishments.
Yeah, and then also part of how we came up with the development of flavors is not only just our culinary background. Yes, we cooked professionally, but we traveled extensively around the world, and so a lot of these flavors are inspired by places that we visited and things that we've drank there. For example, tepache. We're both have Mexican background, but it is traditional Mexican pineapple fermented wine.
I was going to ask about that because I was reading the can and I'm not familiar with it, and so I'm glad you actually brought that one up because it's a flavor that is not really commonly seen, I think, in the States, or at least in the market, I would say. And so that's exciting to see something so unique.
You're absolutely right, and so that's where we're pulling out our inspiration for flavors. Apple rosewater. I spent a month in Istanbul, and I don't drink caffeine because I'm a very, very high energy, I would say, and so to say the least, caffeine did not become kind of annoying. So I would go to the markets, and if I was buying something, they always offer you a chai tea or spiced tea, or an apple rose infusion, and so that's what I would drink, and then plus rose water. It's in everything over there. I have the Turkish delights of rose water, ice cream has rose water, and everything has rose water. And
rose water is such a strong flavor. So I haven't cracked any of these cans open yet. It's actually on my to-do list today, and I'm excited. But rose water it can be really pungent, and that's a really tricky balance. And so I'm excited to taste that. I bet it adds a really complex flavor with the apple.
Rosewater so apples and rosewater have a similar character. So if you think about pink lady apples, it's a hint of rosiness to them, and so they have synergy. So whenever you have them next to each other, they just enhance the flavor of the other one. So they make the flavors more intense and more expressive. We have a couple of master sommeliers that love them. So it's to them, it reminds them almost of like a Registermeter.
Nice.
Aromatic.
Very cool.
Grape.
So how long, when did you guys start this project?
We started back in 2017, just
Oh, wow.
yeah. But it's been quite the journey. Just trying to be bootstrapped as possible, and locating a facility that would work with our needs. We took a big risk in getting the facility that we wanted. We took over the Sonoma cider facility. So we have about 6,000 square feet of brewing space. So we're scaling as we go, and we can meet the demand hopefully in the near future.
Awesome. And
sorry, I want a couple of things.
Go ahead.
Started. We were all going through this transitional period in our lives too, and so we took a trip to Spain, and then we came back, and we're like, okay, well, let's do this, and so it's yes, it's 3 years. It's crazy to think about that, but we are definitely starting to see the pickup in business and synergy, and people are starting to notice, and we're really excited. And yes, this facility was really hard because it's incredibly expensive to transform a facility and be able to have the requirements for the cities or the towns or the county for fermenting. And so we were very fortunate, to be able to take over the facility for Sonoma Cider.
Yeah. Was there a lot of additional like equipment needs that had to be purchased, or was the facility roughly kind of set up to accommodate your needs?
The facility was set up, and that's one of the reasons we really liked it. The price is right. Healdsburg is an incredible town. They were great to work with. They're really excited, accommodating, and really just eager to have us start production here. And so we were very, very fortunate.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so, Healdsburg is a really great town, and I think that they are constantly looking for ways to innovate and have new and exciting offerings for their community and their visitors. And so I can't imagine there's anything like you guys in Healdsburg.
No, diversity is key for them too as well. They want to diversify their employment and businesses, and we're the only non-wine and beer brewer.
Right.
So
you mentioned that your guys' kombucha is raw. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? And yes. What exactly is different? Because I do not know much about kombucha. I will be very honest.
So typically, what the benefit of kombucha is the probiotics in them, right? And you want them because you want to help repopulate your gut bacteria. There's a lot of health evidence that having healthy gut biome helps with mental illnesses, preventing mental illnesses, et cetera, et cetera. So and so. For me, and I grew up drinking kombucha. My mother was a bit of a hippie, and so we would do yoga and we brew kombucha, but it wasn't. I'll tell the truth, it wasn't tasty. She served it to us warm. It was like drinking apple cider.
That sounds a little rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it wasn't. Our kids, they love the stuff we brew, because they think it's soda,
Yeah.
But so yeah, that was for us. It was a big driver. I do believe that probiotics are important, and having diversity of bacterial biome in your gut and your body is incredibly important. So.
And so I know you guys originally were in glass bottles and have moved to cans, and that does help with the shelf stability of the product, though, as well, right?
It does. Manufacturing with bottles was a bit complicated for us. And we found through just a lot of R&D that the cans can improve our shelf life, and definitely we can go through manufacturing a lot easier.
Nice. That's important.
Yeah, so once the volume started picking up for us, it really was hard to cap the bottles by hand.
Yeah, I could imagine.
so we were wearing gloves and whatnot, and we're just destroying our hands.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it just didn't make sense for our volume to continue on with glass bottles.
Yeah, for us, most kombuchas are in a 16-ounce bottle. Being a 12-ounce can and the way our beverage tastes, people are going to finish their product. Kombucha is already a high-acid product, so it's easy for people to crack it open and finish the beverage rather drinking, a very sour, vinegary, acid product, drinking half of it, and you spend $4.50.
Right.
Beverage.
Yeah, I definitely can attest to opening up one of those 16-ounce bottles and just wanting to power through it because, but you just can't sometimes. And so what also is nice about moving away from glass, the physical weight of carrying something like that is pretty heavy, and, moving into a can makes it way more portable and easy to either, pop in your bag or pop in, the cooler and take with you. So there's a lot of benefits for sure to move away from glass.
It's a lower carbon footprint, the transportation logistics and all those things, they're much lower.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Nice. It's fun to see a new product really kind of come into the market and really take off, and really in just the last couple of years. And so when you guys were thinking about, mixing things up and moving into a new direction, was it always kombucha? Was that always the thought? Or did it start out as like a different beverage brand and then just kind of morph into kombucha?
It was always kombucha. There was other things that we wanted to get into, but for our starting point, it was kombucha. Even though it was becoming a saturated market, we felt that it was similar to what happened with the craft beer industry, where everyone kind of piggybacks off of each other and kind of just makes a similar product. So we were able to differentiate our product from the beginning. And then, of course, in the future, there was things that we were looking forward to getting into, such as hemp products and CBD and so forth. So that's kind of our next division that we kind of want to go into.
Yeah, that's great. I know that that's a very up and coming industry, and exploring all of the options within that, which you guys do have one currently, correct?
Yeah, we currently make a sparkling water with 10 milligrams of CBD hemp extract with water-soluble curcumin, turmeric extract. So we're trying to really bridge the gap between a very functional, healthy beverage and flavor at a good price point. So we have access to a lab that makes water-soluble ingredients. So for instance, if you are at a grocery store and you purchase a drink that's cloudy and just really kind of musty, and you have to like shake it up, that means the drink is insoluble. So like 5 to 10% of that drink is going to be absorbed in your body. So now we have a product that we're going to be making that is 100% soluble. So it's very effective. So
you're actually reaping the benefits of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do think as consumers become more and more aware, and unfortunately have the time to become more aware, they are really going to, I think, spend accordingly. And I think that that's a good thing. We should try to take a more holistic approach on how we are choosing to, consume and shop and support. So I think that's a great point.
We're going to hold true to our integrity of what we make. So when people become more aware of our products and we're out there with our price point, our taste, and what we're doing, it kind of binds everything together to make us a really unique product that people can enjoy and not break the bank.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, when you think back about when you were younger and you thought about what you would be doing when you grew up, was this ever, and in your wildest dreams, was this on the table?
No idea. No. I was growing up, I always wanted to be an archaeologist.
Cool.
And then that just never happened.
Food is kind of like a form of archaeology.
Right, exactly. But growing up in Texas, my family's multicultural, but somehow my mom just her cooking, bless her. I started cooking at an early age.
Yeah, she made this flavor. It's delicious. Yeah.
Good save.
I started cooking early on, and so that's something that stayed with me for a long time, and became more of a passion and desire to not only treat my body fairly, but what can I do for other people as well.
Nice.
For me, it's funny. I originally started computer science, and I was going to college in San Diego, and I was working in a kitchen on the line in a restaurant part-time, and I kind of fell in love with the lifestyle, right? Chefs are very rock starish, especially in restaurants. Everyone treats you like you're something special.
Yeah.
And Yeah, the new Bourdain, you know. And so, so you know, I just really fell in love with it, and then I decided to go to culinary school, and
then realized that it wasn't as glamorous as they made it out to be.
no, not even that. The life happens, right? So I joined the National Guard to pay for school, but while in school, I fell in love with wine. I always thought that wine was just ridiculous and pompous, and then I tried a wine that really resonated with me, and I fell in love with it. And then I worked in New York City, and instead of working as a chef, because I started a restaurant I wasn't the owner, but I helped develop the whole restaurant. And so when we opened, I thought I was going to be working with a chef to help develop all the recipes and procedures and SOPs and things like that. And the owner's like, no, you're going to be in the front of the house. And he gave me a couple of suits, and I was like, I spent 3 months with them, and I just felt like I was part of the family. So I stayed and I went with it, and then I did love the history. I love the culture and all those things that food and wine have, because they have this beautiful romantic stories that you need to tell people about, and so I fell in love with that. And then Erik and I, like I said, we were going through some transitional periods. We were both getting divorced, et cetera, and so we were kind of down on our luck a little bit. But
I've been there.
Also,
I totally understand.
and so, but it also felt like it was a new beginning.
Yeah.
And I had wine importing business at that point, which also I didn't think I was going to do. I don't know how I got into it, just because I fell in love with wine, and I wanted to help some friends in Europe. But I was focused on natural wines, and so when he mentioned that he was thinking of starting kombucha, at first I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, you're doing your thing. And then after a while, I kind of like, well, I brewed kombucha before. I know I did. And so
I got my mom's recipe. Let me get that.
And so that's how we started. And, there's something really special about developing a product, creating the marketing, the branding, and all these things. And it's just a lot. It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of dedication. And we're both incredibly hardworking. I think, having this, Mexican background, people might say that, there's a lot of things being said nowadays about Mexicans, but one thing that no one would not say is that Mexicans are incredibly hardworking, and they are, and it's part of our culture. And so we just work together really well. And me, I'd like to focus on one thing, and Erik, focuses on his side, which is operations, and really just trying to do all the paperwork, which I hate, by the way.
Yeah. I don't envy being the head of operations, that's for sure. I think being the brewer sounds a little bit more relaxing, comparatively speaking.
Yeah, especially when I'm blowing up tanks now.
That doesn't sound fun.
Different skill set and different personalities, right? I'm more hands-on and like doing things with my hands, and that's why we make such a good team.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. A quick question. I see on your guys' website there's a shop button. So can people buy online if they wanted to?
Yes.
Awesome. That's great.
They can. We'll ship to them, or if they want to pick up, they come and pick up here.
Yeah, if they're in Sonoma County or in the relative area, I can deliver for them.
Okay. Well, great.
We do our deliveries ourselves right now.
I do know that. I got to drop off. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to trying these tasty kombuchas and then also seeing them out in the market.
Excellent. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a great day, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.